Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the Pacific Northwest, the home of the 12s, as it's called, CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon.
Ready? My spot four. What we got? What we got? What we got? Ready?
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And whoa, he's going to hope that that is not a sign of things to come. A rude welcoming to this ball game. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a second and long.
On the double. Mike 54. Coming to you.
They'll run here with Robinson. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. He'll have a first down past the 40. It's Hill, complete. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Set. Ready. 18 Gator. 54. Hey, watch your leg. Check four.
The first carry now. This is Hill. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, it's Hill. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
66. Bullet high.
2nd and 3. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Check, 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 check. Right there, 54.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
You got three, three down. Watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. 80 weapon.
Throwing his Allen on 3rd. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Trey Flowers with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down. And you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Come get some.
2nd and 13. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. They'll run on first down. Robinson. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
He wasn't ready.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 36-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready. 8, read. Check. Watch the before. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
2nd and 5. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On the run, it's Robinson. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Second and 11. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Toss play to Robinson. Got some real estate inside the 30. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Let's go.
They'll run it now with Robinson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down now, it's Robinson. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Come on, set. 30 pace, let's go. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense, let's go.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Matt Patricia here on 4th down, sending out the field goal unit. This just a 24-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Drop deep, drop deep.
Allen throwing again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check, 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 check.
From the gun, it's Allen. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To the air, Allen. And his throw here is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
54. 19. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go.
Allen now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now Allen again. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. From 4 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll drop the throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
So after the INT, it's Allen. He's going to take a shot. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. McManus's point after is good, and that gives them a 3-point lead. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Okay, ready? Mike 54.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On 2nd and 11 now. Allen, and that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Allen now to throw on 3rd down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. There he goes, left side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Come on, man, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Are you ready? Set. Check right 54. Right 54. I'm on.
2nd and 15. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Right there, 54 Mike. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Allen. He's got his man here. It's Gary Jennings Jr. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
Let's go. Check. Alert 3. Greystone, Travis.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, You and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. McManus's point after is good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Come on, Slam.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Here we go. Set. And logo. Check right.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 41.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Hey, ready? Check Mike 54. Mike 54. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Going to give this time to the tailback. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Move. Shit.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
And now they'll throw with Allen. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and goal to go.
try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. From 3 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 19. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. On the toss, here's Robinson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, D, get off the field. Check 52. 80 weapon. 80 weapon. Check 25. Check 25. Ready, go.
They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give the tackle there to Keon Crossan.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
2nd and 9 now. That one complete to Hill. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. They'll try to run for it. Here's Hill. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now they try the right side here. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And an alley to run. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And Allen is actually going to throw it here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
22 yards there, a 1st down. Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well. Because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.